Let's continue 66. So we want to simplify those radicals. So we see addition here. We add, addition. For addition or subtraction, we look for like radicals. Okay. So like terms. Oops. Similar to like terms, we call like radicals. Does not allow me. Okay, I have to get rid of this. Then change my language because I chose my language to be Chinese before. Okay. So we need a like radicals. Let me write this word. Like radicals. What does it mean? That means the radicals have the same index, have the same radicand. Okay. So this little 3 here, we call index. It's 2 inside, called like radicals. So I have a cubic root of 2 here. This is a cubic root of 2. And then we're looking for another cubic root of 2. Oh, yes, right here. So those two are like radicals. Same index, same radicand. So we just add the numbers before. So we have 11. 11 multiplied by root 3 of 2. Then we have 31 of root 3 over 2. So 11 plus 31, that's 42. So we have 42 of cubic root of radical, third root or cubic root, okay, of 2. Similarly, let me change it to be green. Here we have cubic root of 6. Right? Then we see cubic root of 6 here. Then we just add the numbers before. We have 34 plus 7, well, that's 41. Put the 41 here. So we have 41 of cubic root of 6. So like we add, subtract like radicals. So as you can see, it's different from multiplication and division. Let's see 67. We have 4 minus radical A, 4 plus radical A. Again, difference of 2 squares formula. So I have 4 times 4, 16. So 4 squared, 16, minus square root of A squared, which is just 8. So 16 minus 8 is the answer, just 8. And it's easy to see why difference of 2 squares doesn't have middle term. When we multiply those two, we get negative 4 radical 8. When we multiply those two, we get a positive 4 radical 8. So negative and positive canceled, right? Additive inverse to be 0. Now let's see, 68. Inside we have 2 terms, outside we have 1 term. So we just distribute. Multiply those 2. We multiply these 2. We keep the subtraction sign. So this is all under the index 7. So same index, when we multiply, we can put the radicands together. So these 2 we can write as 7th root of x times x raised by 6. Well, x is x raised by 1 by default. So x times x raised by 6, that's x raised by 7. Then when the power and the index are the same, that's just x. So that just becomes x. So the first term is x. Then we have minus sign. Then we multiply by this 2. The 8 is outside, just keep number 8. Then we have 7th root of x times x raised by 3. That becomes x raised by 4. Because the power 4 is smaller than 7, so we just leave like this. That's the answer. $69. So which one of the following problem and the answer pairs is correct? It's incorrect. It's incorrect. So multiply those 2. That's a 5 radical b. So this one is right. 5 and the absolute value of b. Because this b itself could be negative. Once negative, square become positive. This one z, so we can combine z and y squared because all and the cubic root index both 3. This one's right. This one is index 2. This one index 3. We cannot write them together. So this one is not right. This one, this is 5. This is 7. 5 times 7, 35. Yes. So the third one is not right because we're looking for incorrect one. So we will check this one. Right. So this one is not right. Let's see 70. Multiply and simplify. So 2 terms here, 2 terms here. Well, 35 is 5 times 7, right? So square root 5 times square root 7, basically. So let's multiply those 2 first. When we multiply those 2, we think about square root of 35 is the square root of 5 times the square root of 7. Then when we multiply this with 5 times radical 7, we see we have radical 7 times itself. So it becomes just 7. So radical 7 times radical 7, it becomes 7. 5 times 7, that's 35. So 35 radical 5. So this equals to 35 radical 5. Now let's multiply these 2. Well, 1 times anything will be anything. So that's 5 radical 7. Then let's multiply these 2. So that's square root of 5. So 4. So this is minus 4 times radical or square root of 35. Then lastly, we have negative 4 times 1. So that's negative 4. Can we simplify anything? Not really. Because we have radical 5, radical 7, radical 35. None of them are like radicals. And this 4 is an integer. So this answer we should put inside here. Right, so that's the answer. 35 radical 5 plus 5 radical 7 minus 4 radical 35 minus 4. $71. Multiply and simplify again. We have those 2 terms, we have those 2 terms. So we multiply those 2, we get a 4x, right? You see 2 times 2, 4. Square root of x times square root of x, that says x. So must be this one, right? Because only this one has 4x. This is 2x, this is 0, this is 4x squared. Well, let's just finish, right? Then we multiply those two. Multiply these two, get -6. So I get this term. Then these two give us 6 radical x. These two give us -4. So 6 radical x minus 4 radical x, that's 2 radical x. So it is the first one. First one is right. $72. Rationalize the denominator, which means we want the denominator to be a natural number. Natural number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going on. Okay, those are called the natural numbers. So we want to make the denominator a natural number. So what do? We use difference of two squares. Here we have 6 plus radical 10. We want to multiply 6 minus radical 10. A plus b times a minus b4. And we do the same for the numerator. Because the simplified expression, we can only multiply by 1. This 1 is a transformer. Is anything divides itself. So the bottom, we have a plus b times a minus b. So right away, we get a squared minus b squared. A squared is 6 squared, we get 36. Minus b squared is the square root of 10 squared, which is just 10. The numerator will have -52 times 6. That's -312. Negative times negative become plus. So the second term is positive. Plus 52 radical 10. Then the denominator can be 36 minus 10, that's 26. And that's it. So we should put it over here. So our answer is -312 plus 5 radical 10 divided by 26. $73. Similar, we want to rationalize the denominators. We still have a plus b form. We want to multiply by a minus b. So in this case, a minus b is 8 minus radical 3. We do the same for the numerator. A minus radical 3. Right. So we put the parentheses around to indicate these two terms, multiply these two terms, and these two terms, multiply these two terms. People got double distribution or FOIL. So the denominator gives us a squared minus b squared, which is 8 squared. 8 squared is 64. Minus the radical 3 squared, which is just 3. The numerator will FOIL it. 2 times a, 16. Then square root of 3 times square root of 3, just 3. Minus 3. Then multiply the middle two, have a radical 3. Multiply these two, get a -2 radical 3. So together we have 6 radical 3, right? Because a radical 3 minus 2 radical 3 give us a 6 radical 3. 64 minus 3, that's 61 in the denominator. 16 minus 3, that's 13. So our simplified answer should be written here, 13 plus 6 radical 3 divided by 61. $74. Again, rationalize the denominator. 74 is same as 73, isn't it? Oh, we do this one. 2 plus radical 3, a plus, oh, just different numbers. Okay, so you know what to do with this. You multiply a minus radical 2 divided by a minus radical 2. This is 75. Simplify and rationalize the denominator. Okay. 50 does not divide by 3. X cubed and y, nothing can be simplified. So 50 can be written as 2 times 25. So 5 comes out. So 5 radical 2 times 25. So still have 2 inside. Then x cubed can be split into x squared and x. So x comes out. So you see outside we have 5x. Inside we have 2x. If we push 5x inside, we get it 5x squared with 25x squared. Then multiply by 2x, we still get back 50x cubed. Right? Then divided by square root of 3y. Well, we want to rationalize the denominator. Right? So we multiply by square root of 3y. And then we do the same for the numerator. Times square root of 3y. Then the denominator becomes 3y. 3y, the denominator. The numerator becomes 5x outside the square root. Inside the square root, we have 2 times 3, 6 xy. Okay, so our final answer is 5x times square root of 6xy divided by 3y. $76. We want to simplify this. So 16 can be written as 2 raised by 4. Right? 2 raised by 4 being cubed, index is 3. That's a 2 cubic root of 2. So the denominator can be simplified. 2 times 2, 4. So the denominator becomes 4 cubic root of 2. The numerator cannot be simplified, so keep the numerator. But we want to, yeah, that's it. So the numerator is 3 cubic root of 5. Denominator is 4 cubic root of 2. Let's see this one. I want to simplify this. 225 cannot be simplified, but this 25 cannot be simplified either because the index is 4. The index is 4. So this is simplified. Or maybe we want to rationalize the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, we can write, so 25 is 5 squared. Then we're missing squared, 5 squared. So we want to make 5 raised by 4, right? So we have to multiply 5 squared, multiply by 5 squared in the denominator. Then we have to do the same in the numerator, multiply by 2, 5 squared. Because we can only multiply by 1. Then we have x cubed. Maybe we want to multiply x too. So we need to multiply x in the numerator as well. We want to have y in the denominator. We want to multiply y cubed. So we need to do the same in the numerator. Now with the denominator comes out. 5 raised by 4, the fourth root, that's just 5. X raised by 4, then fourth root, that's just x. Then y raised by 4 with index 4, that becomes y. So the numerator we have 5 squared 25, 25 times 2, 50. X, y cubed. And that's it. That's a simplified version of it. Let's see 78. 78, we want to solve this equation. So what do? We square both sides. Square both sides, we get x minus 12 equal to 7 squared, which is 49. Right, then add 12 on both sides. So 49 plus 12, that's 61. So 61 is the answer. This is 79 and 80. Oops. 79. Now we have this square root, but we also have a 2 and this addition. So first we're going to move 2 to the other side. So become a 3 minus 2. Or 3 minus 2, this side becomes 1. So we have a square root of 2c minus 15 equals to 1. Now we square both sides. Right? So we get a 2c minus 15 equals to 1 squared, which is just 1. Because we subtract 2 on both sides, right? Let me just solve this. So that's 2c equals to 16. Add 15 on both sides. So c equals to 8. So c equals to 8. 80 we need to square twice. Because we have 2 square root. So first we square both sides. So we get a perfect square. We get an a minus b parentheses square. That's called a perfect square. So once we square that, we get the first term square. So square root of c plus 22 square, which is c plus 22. Also, we get the last one square. Last one, if we square, we get c minus 22. Then we get a minus 2 times square root of those 2 terms. So let me write here. 2 times the square root of c plus 22 times c minus 22. Difference of 2 squares. Difference of 2 squared. Now we see positive 22, negative 22 cancelled. The c plus c is 2c. So across this equals to 1. 1 squared is 1. So I have 2c plus this term. What do we do with 2c? We want to move this 2c to the other side. 2c to the other side becomes 1 minus 2c. Okay. Now nothing on this side but negative 2 square root of this. That equals this. So we want to square again. We want to square both sides. Equation of both sides. We want to square this. We want to square the right hand side. Then square of negative 2 becomes 4, positive 4. Square root and square cancel each other. So get c plus 22 or c squared. So the difference of 2 squares. C squared minus 22 squared equals to the other side is perfect square. 1 minus 2c squared. So first one square minus 2 times the product of those two, which is 4c, then plus 4c squared. Now let's just simplify a little bit. So we have 4c squared, distribute 4c squared, minus 4 times 22 squared. Well, let's just write it as 4 times 22 squared. Hopefully sometime later on we can cancel this. Okay. Then minus 1 plus 4c, or maybe we just leave it for now. Right? So equals to 1 minus 4c plus 4c squared. So I have, oh, this one missing squared. Four c raised by squared. So this should be squared here. There, 4c squared minus 4 times 22 squared. Subtract 4c squared on both sides, we see 4c squared cancel each other, right? Both positive on the both sides of the equation, we can cancel them. Or just subtract 4c squared on both sides. So both cancel to be 0. So we have negative 4 times 22 squared equals 1 minus 4c. So we move 4c to one side, to the left-hand side. We leave 1 on the right-hand side. Then we move negative 4 times 22 squared to the other side, become plus. So plus 4 times 22 squared. Then c is equals to this term divided by 4. So numerator, we can calculate 22 squared is 242. No, 22 times 22, 484. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Then plus will be 8. 2 times 3 is 4. So 484. 484 times 4. 484 times 4. Then divided by this 4, we can think those two cancel, but we still have this term, right? Quarter. Quarter is 0.25, or we can leave just as quarter. But then on this one, we have 4 times 444 divided by 4. So 4 cancel, we have 444 left. So the answer for this is 444.12 or 1/4. A mixed number. If you like to use decimals, that's 444.25. Okay, I'm going to take a break.